Hello, the power of mentorship. Now we are going to address why you need a mentor. Why do you need a mentor? First and foremost, the reason why you need a mentor, it is basically because you've understood where you are at. You've understood that you need help. That is very important to define that in this particular area, you need somebody who has walked the road. Let me take, for example, marriage. So you find that you are entering into marriage. You've never been there. You are meeting this person, for the first time in a marriage setup. You were just boyfriend and girlfriend. You won't know how to maneuver. You won't know what to do when something has happened. You don't know what to do when he has done you wrong or she has done you wrong. It is important for you to identify your weaknesses. Now, when you see that in this area, you are new in this particular area, you need somebody who has already walked the road because you don't want to reinvent the wheel. Let's take, for example, in the marketplace, you're working there, you've just been employed. Do you know that there's somebody, they call them, baddie, a baddie. Somebody is a baddie, instead of calling them a manager or something, but more like an older friend, somebody who's a friend, somebody you can always call upon when you're stuck. It is important for you to have a buddy. Very important, because there are some things that you will escape because you've got somebody who has done that assignment before, who has worked in that department before. They already know the ropes. And so they will simply show you how you are supposed to climb the ropes. So why will you need a mentor? It is when you identify, it has to be a resolve within you that in this particular area, I need somebody who has walked the road before. Now, needing a mentor is another thing, but coming to the selection of you, who a mentor must be for your life, it is another thing that you need to put into consideration, because this particular mentor, you're going to be vulnerable, you're going to be transparent. And because you're going to be transparent, you're going to be vulnerable in their presence, depending on how deep the mentorship is going or which areas you are dealing with. It is therefore imperative for you to choose a right person whom you are going to look up to. Because when you choose a person that can end up abusing you, there are some people who have been abused sexually by mentors. Some of them emotionally by mentors, because there are people who now start taking advantage of your weaknesses because you have shared, part of your life. You have shared part of your weaknesses to them, and so you become vulnerable in their presence. They've allowed you, to be vulnerable in their presence. And therefore, this person must be trustworthy. Before you open up your wounds, before you open up your heart, before you get to learn a little more from them, you need to really know who they are. Okay, you need to have that understanding. And then another thing is that you've got to be willing to step down. What do I mean? If you have a full bucket of knowledge, okay, when I say full bucket, I'm talking about your mind is full, you think you know it all. Do you know that because this whole relationship works with energy, a mentor will know how much to give to you. A mentor will know if you're too full. A mentor will know if you think you know it all, because this thing is about energies. When you are releasing information to somebody, you are able to tell if the other person is receiving or they think they know it all. That is why when you have positioned yourself, you need to step down from that place of knowing. Empty the bucket of your mind so that you can allow the mentor to pour into you. Another thing that needs to happen, I wrote something and I said, how long is your rope? How long is your rope? In other words, the passion that you have. How passionate are you to tap from your mentor? How deep is the bucket of your life? How empty is the bucket of your life? In other words, how have you emptied your mind? How have you cleaned the filters of your mind so that you don't get to argue? Argument is in two ways. Sometimes it is verbal, sometimes it's physiological. Okay, because as you know, communication, when it comes to communication with your mentor, the words that are being spoken, it's only about, I think, 7%. Only about 7%. That is how much you are communicating or what the mentor is saying to you. It's only about 7%. And I think about 37, something like that, about 37% is actually, the tonality. Okay, and 50 something is the physiology. Okay, so your positioning, your physiology says a lot. And that is why there are mentees who have never gotten into the bedroom of a mentor. In other words, they've never gotten into the depth, to draw into the depth of a mentor. It is all about positioning. So why you will need a mentor? It is because you want to tap into the wisdom well of this mentor. And they've got different departments. Every mentor knows how far each mentor goes in their lives. So a mentor has got different people that walk up into his or her life. And when you come, you simply reach by the gate of their house or of their life, by the gate. Now, depending on the conversation going and how malleable and how ready you are, they will then allow you to walk the yard of their lives. And you'll be around their yard, so you can even have a drink outside the yard. In other words, they will allow you to really mingle around, and they can offer some nuggets, okay? But those nuggets are simply coming from the outside yard of the house. You haven't yet known what is inside. When they get to trust you and they see that you are serious with what you want to get, the next place you will get to is by the door. You will then open the door of their lives, and you get into the sitting room. You can sit and get to chat. And they will release sitting room information. They will release social information, and you will get, some percentage of what you're really looking for. So based on how deep your bucket is and how long your rope is, in other words, how passionate are you to tap out of their lives? How deep are you willing to go? It is that willingness. It is that openness, that you need to have and develop. And when you sit under their mentorship, they'll feel you, because this thing is about energy. The neural net will speak to them on how much they need to release into you, and if you are ready to receive. Some of you are too full with information. This is why you can have a mentor and you've never even entered the sitting room of their life, because you have portrayed that you know much. You have shown them that you know too much, and therefore they will restrict the information that they are giving to you. And based on how well you are developing and how you are growing in this relationship, they will then move you from the sitting room into the kitchen of their lives. Then you can dine together. Then you can cook together. Then you can observe a lot of other things. Let me tell you, greater mentorship is actually gotten more by observation. Observation is very key, other than just what is spoken. When you get to observe a mentor and what they do, this is how I gained a lot from my, marriage mentor, my spiritual mom. It is because I observed how she treated her husband. I observed how when dad entered the house, how she greeted him, how she served him food, just the way she carried herself. I observed a lot, more than the teachings she used to give, to so many people at kitchen parties, counseling sessions and all. I observed more when she was in action, because this time she was not even aware that I'm watching. And I learned a lot. If anything, most of the things that I tapped from her, that I learned from her, are things that have improved my marriage, are things that have changed my marriage because of observation. Observation is key. And then when a mentor trusts you, Depending on how long your rope is, how passionate you are, a mentor will allow you in the bedroom of their life. At this particular time, they become transparent. They can almost tell you anything and they know you won't get offended. They will guide you. They will show you the way. They will correct you and they will measure how your offense levels. Are you looking for a mentor to clap for you? Then go and look for cheerleaders. If you're looking for a mentor who has to help you grow, who has to help you become the best version of yourself, your mentor is not your cheerleader. Your mentor is not your friend. In other words, when I say a friend, because there's some level of friendship that you've got to develop with a mentor, but I'm talking about, that familiarity aspect. It is the onus is upon you. Even if a mentor wants to be friendly, wants to befriend you so much and, to really laugh with you, it is you to keep the distance. It is you to stop yourself from being familiar with them. Because if you lose respect of your mentor, if you lose respect, you won't gain a lot from a mentor. This is how I define disrespect. It is when a mentor gives you instruction and you do not obey those instructions, you do not do those instructions, then I think at that moment you become familiar. You've got to evaluate the relationship, because if you cannot obey instructions or the things that you are being told, then you are wasting each other's time. Because when you walk up into the mentor's life, it is up to you to take the information that you've requested from a mentor, because a mentor just want to help you. At the end of the day, who needs who? A mentee needs a mentor more than a mentor needing a mentee. That is very, very important to understand. And therefore, because you are looking for information, you are looking for knowledge, you are looking for wisdom, learn to empty the bucket of your life. Find time where you can steady your life into the presence of a mentor in order for them to keep allowing you to enter into the depth of their lives, so that you can draw as much as you can from the depth of their lives. And when you learn to actually draw more out of a mentor, let me tell you what gets to happen. You actually become a better person. You know why? Because the mentor is not learning from you, but you are learning from a mentor. So you are becoming a better version, because every time you are in the presence of the mentor, say 30 minutes, what happens is that you talk less and the mentor talks more. And so the mentor will be telling you a lot of principles and a lot of this and a lot of experience and the things that they've gone through. So you know what has happened? Your knowledge, your wisdom, who you are, plus what the mentor has told you, you become a better person. Because a mentor in that 30 minutes, they haven't really learned so much from you. You are the one who has learned. So 30 minutes spent with a mentor, properly spent with a mentor, that 30 minutes will go a long way in your life if only you can treasure it, or if you can unlock, the nuggets of wisdom out of your mentor's life. That is why needing a mentor has to have some definition of what you're really looking for. Because you cannot want a mentor when you don't know what you want from a mentor. You need to actually define what you want out of a mentor's life in order for you to define what type of mentor you need in your life. It still works in the marketplace, because if you are in marketing, you cannot get an accountant as your mentor, because they won't mentor you as a marketer. They won't give you the skills of marketing. So if you want a mentor, you are an accountant, you need to look for an accountant, a mentor who's an accountant, to help you on how not to get confused of the figures, and also what they actually do when something hasn't balanced. They will help you to position yourself correctly in the marketplace, for promotion, and on how you deal with certain things that do not work well, or certain things that haven't added up in that area of your expertise. That is why it is very, very important that when you are seeking for a mentor, you've got to first understand, why do I want a mentor? And who shall be my mentor? Those questions are cardinal, because when you answer that question, why you need a mentor, and who shall mentor you, then the next thing is action. And when you act, you find a good mentor, my friend, you will reach that place. Your goals will be fulfilled because every good mentor in your life will help you to reach your goals. And that is what you actually need. Power of mentorship can never be overly emphasized. It is a necessity for every person.